All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's just have fun. It's a conversation, and we're just going to get to know each other.
Cool.
You can ask me questions back and forth. I'll ask you questions, and then once we both feel like we're tired of talking, we'll cut it. Well, not like that, you know. Somos amigos, not enemigos. Okay. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check. What's going on? Welcome into another episode of the KZ Community Beats. I'm your host Ross Martinez in the hot seat this week. This is an interview I've been trying to get for a while. I'm super happy we got this. I moved to Peoria and immediately was like, all right, I got to find a couple things. Taco spot, that's tacos for the uninitiated. And also, where can I find salsa, cumbia, bachata, you know, to dance a little bit to my soul. And I found out over at the Contemporary Arts Center in Peoria, they have Salsa Nights once a month. And I have the creators of that, EDUARDO and Beverly Caballero. Welcome into the podcast. How you guys feeling today?
Good. Thank you for having us, Ross. Thank you.
You know, I can tell you, born and raised Southside Chicago. That's where I'm from. And when I moved down here, my friend Gabe told me, he's like, yo, you need to come out to Salsa Nights. I'm like, Peoria has Salsa Nights? He's like, yo, they're amazing. Beverly and EDUARDO, they're awesome. They put on a great night. And I went, I'm like, yo, I don't think I sweated that much ever in Peoria. So you guys aren't originally from Peoria, though?
No, we're both from New York City, Harlem. We grew up together, went to junior high school together. That's where we actually met.
So how in the world did you end up coming to Peoria? From Harlem, huh?
Caterpillar was recruiting at the school of City College of New York. They made me an offer. They moved me out here.
And you followed your sweetheart.
Well, I was doing New York University for about a year, part-time and working. Got a little bit too much for me. And so I decided, well, I might as well follow Beverly out here. Sounds like she has something good going on. And plus, I was in love with her.
Oh, and before we turn the mic out, you told me that was your sweetheart from, like, how did you know? Because I always like asking guys this question. How did you know this was the one?
I didn't know. I mean, I did my little teenage running around, but, you know, after a while, I guess the spirit led me to Beverly.
What caught your eye about her initially?
Her intelligence, she's strong-willed, and she's beautiful. She doesn't wear makeup, and she's beautiful.
Look at that. You get compliments. Look at this man chumming you up. How does it feel knowing, like, from Harlem to now, you guys have been able to just be an efficient couple that's also doing positive stuff for the community? Like, how does that feel?
Well, sometimes because we do it for the love of the music, and we don't think much about it because we love it so much, and we're glad that other people appreciate what we do. We have heard over the years, the community, you're doing a great thing for the community, and thanks for doing what you do.
That's amazing. I love that. So let's talk about these Salsa Nights. When do they happen? How often do they happen here in Peoria?
Well, it's the third Friday of every month, and we do a complimentary lesson for the first hour. So we show people how to do salsa, merengue, bachata, and during the dance, we stop the music, and Beverly performs a cha-cha lesson for everybody. Everybody gets behind us, and we just do simple cha-cha-cha steps. And I think people really love that. And then we do play cha-cha during the evening so they can get acclimated to that. We also do like a snowball dance where we get everybody, we start off with a couple doing merengue. And then when I say switch, you go get somebody else and bring them up on the floor. And at the end of the song, everybody's up on the floor dancing.
Look,
that's how you get people up when they're sitting down and not sure they want to get up.
I will say that led me to a date. Thank you very much for making that happen. If you're single, wanna co-mingle.
Yeah.
So where did you guys find this passion for music?
I got it from him, my husband. But I didn't have it prior to him. Prior to knowing him, I didn't have it.
Were you always born with this inclination for music? And
I think I was. I mean, most people in Harlem, listening to R&B, and there was so many good acts back then. We used to go to the Apollo Theater, which is famous right now. I used to see all the goody performers. Even snuck in a couple of times. I hope they don't come get me now, but we used to
I think the statue's up, bro.
We saw the Temptations, the Miracles, Jackie Wilson, Stevie Wonder, all of those folks, we saw them live and in person. And so that, that really built up our enthusiasm for R&B. But like I said, my brother, who was a year older than me, was really into salsa, and then he actually got into a little band. And then, like I said, we started collecting albums, and we used to start going to places to dance. One of my problems with salsa was that I didn't know how to dance in New York City. I would go to the clubs and sit there and let the music just go through me and watch all these beautiful people dancing. And I said to myself, I have to learn how to salsa dance, I didn't learn how to salsa dance till I came to Peoria.
Really?
Yeah, Beverly can tell you how that happened.
Yeah. How did you move to Peoria to learn salsa?
Well, it didn't happen exactly in that way. When I was working at Caterpillar, there was an intern that says to us, "Why don't you go to Bradley University? They're having salsa lessons." And so that was back in 2004, I think. And then we went there, and we discovered that we were taking lessons from a guy by the name of Burfan. Burfan is from Turkey. He also worked at Caterpillar. So we got our initial lessons from Burfan, and over a period of time, Burfan stopped teaching at Bradley, and then Eddie and I decided that we would teach at Bradley. So we took over where Burfan left off. But that was our first introduction to salsa in Peoria at Bradley University.
From a man from Turkey.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love the multicultural layers of all that happening. It just, you ever look back in life and be like, okay, that was kind of serendipitous for that to happen in order for things to kind of start growing and moving a certain way in your life?
Yeah. We didn't know it would lead us this far,
Yeah.
We taught at Bradley for a while. The students loved it. We taught many students how to salsa dance who never had that experience before. We also taught them how to do casino, and we used to perform together. Casino is like a Cuban, what do they call it? Like a Cuban square dance. It's not a square dance, but it's similar where
Casino Rueda. Is what
Casino Rueda. It's similar where you have couples in a round circle, and then somebody makes a call, and we switch partners. And so we have different moves and different calls, and we switch partners to a song. And in that way, you also can teach salsa turns real quick instead of just going to a formal class and breaking down everything a little bit at a time. Of course, you have to teach them what to do, but you learn a lot of things in a short period of time. And so that's how we did it at Bradley.
I will say, too, Befran, the teacher, was also responsible for us doing some salsa nights at Edie's Oasis, which was located on Farmington Road back in, I want to say, 2005, 2006. Because Befran realized that Eddie had such a collection, and he thought to himself, well, maybe he should share that. And so he got a chance to play some of his collection at Edie's Oasis. And at that time, they were just charging like maybe $2 to get in, and it would be like from 7 to 12 or 7 to 11. So that's where we had our first start in offering salsa dances. And it was because it was such a novelty. I mean, it attracted so many different people. And we have friends to this day from that, starting down at Edie's Oasis in Farmington Road.
From 05, 06 to
05, 06.
2023, about to
Yeah.
be 2024, you
Yeah.
guys have just seen a steady growth. Like,
Mhm.
how does it feel to see the community through different generations just still supporting, still coming out? You still have your locals that, when I go, I still see them every now and then, like, oh, like Gabe. He's at
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single one. How does it feel to have that connection throughout the years?
I do want to say that was my first experience DJing music. I mean, I wasn't a DJ. I am now, but I'm a different type of DJ because salsa music, there's not a lot of scratching or a whole lot of other things. People want to hear the whole song. And, you can mix songs together and things like that, which I can do. But that was my first experience, and it grew to where I'm at now. But what we'd really like to see, I mean, our dance is more of an international thing, so you have different cultures coming there to dance.
We've had people, and by the way, we're responsible for at least 7 marriages.
Really?
That is correct, at least 7.
I mean, you're responsible for me getting one date in the past
we
year.
didn't know about that. So I can say marriages. I'm not sure about connections or just relationships.
You know what? I'll take the connection for me. But that's awesome. You also have that. You're able to bring culture and dance to wide range of people, but also bring people together with your passion for the music and just as a couple doing it together. That's awesome.
We've had people come that were in their 80s, and they didn't sit still either. There was one man in particular, and what he would like to do is ask the young ladies to dance, and they were thrilled to dance with him. But he was just, he was just pleasant to be around. He didn't come to sit. He meant to mingle.
Don't come to sit, come to mingle. I love that.
Now, the one thing, I give them the history of salsa because they don't really know what the word salsa means, where it came from, or how it got to where it was. So I start off with the African experience, from slaves coming over to the United States, bringing their gods, their chants, and everything, landing in Cuba, where Cuba put a little bit more flavor to it, some charanga, some songs from the hills and stuff like that, where it migrated to New Orleans, where Dizzy Gillespie was playing Latin jazz. He incorporated this guy named Chono Pozo, a real dark-skinned black man from Cuba, to help them with music, and that's where they kind of got into Latin jazz.
Huh.
They helped them do that. After it left New Orleans, it went over to the big cities, San Francisco, Chicago, and New York. And in New York is where the term salsa comes from, because from one of the artists was looking at women dancing and stuff, and they said, "Oh, look, she's so hot. Look, she's like a hot pepper or a hot salsa," and that's where the word salsa comes from.
Are we serious? That's where it comes from?
Cheo Feliciano, the Puerto Rican singer, he's the one that really coined it, salsa.
I've been dancing salsa for 30-something years, and I did not know that.
That's the roots of salsa. If you ask people, so where did salsa come from? People say Spain, Mexico, this, and that. The actual roots are from the roots of African people.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. And besides salsa, you also play cumbia, bachata, merengue, all this. And do you have any other history lessons behind those other peoples de bailar?
Not really. I know merengue is primarily from Dominican Republic, and bachata is also from the Dominican Republic. But they do a lot of merengue in Puerto Rico too. It's like a different beat to merengue, but they do merengue in Puerto Rico too.
And cumbia, I don't know, is that Mexico or is that
Cumbia is Colombian and Mexico.
Colombia and Mexico. Okay.
There's two forms of dancing, one on the heel and one on the tip, I think, from what I got told.
For the cumbia?
Yeah. You got the Mexican version, which I think is on the heel of your foot. I don't know. I'm not good at it. I've got to come and learn.
I'm not too up on it, yeah.
But that's amazing just to see. And not only at the Contemporary Art Museum is where you guys are located?
Contemporary Art Center.
Center. But you also have other areas in town that you go out to. So where are the other venues you guys host events at?
Mackinac has been pretty current with us for the last 3 years. And from time to time, we've been asked to do it at various venues. Like we spoke about earlier, we went to the Speakeasy in Pekin, and we did that for about a few years. And then we did a few venues. No, we did one venue, we did two venues in Bloomington. The first Bloomington venue, we did McLean County Museum, I believe, or Art Center. And I think we did the Clarion Hotel also in Bloomington. And the latest one was at Park Regency Hotel. We did two sessions there. So we've also done Jazz Up Front in Bloomington.
Ooh.
So that's our Bloomington.
Betty Jane.
Oh, and then we did Betty Jane.
Up in the Heights.
Up in the Heights for about a year and a half. And I can't think of any others at this point.
You've just been everywhere, kind of. It seems like you just
It just
trial and
We
error.
did one in Forest, Illinois this year.
We were
That was
asked.
about an hour and a half from here.
We were asked to be a part of some kind of heritage festival in Forest, Illinois. But then those are just one and off type things. We also been asked to do special occasions, whether it be a graduation. We've been asked to do weddings. We've been asked to do schools. As a matter of fact, we did a group thing at a church recently, St. Paul Baptist Church, and it was for the marriage ministries. And what they wanted to do is a way of wanting the marriages to become stronger, and they believe through dance because there is a connection between leader and follower. And so we did that there and we had about 40 people there when we did that one Friday.
Nice.
So we did that at a church. We also did, we did another church too. We did some lessons there. I can't think of it. But anyway, that was 2 churches that we've actually gone there and taught lessons.
And we've taught little kids at public school 150.
So you just young generations, you're getting them young to get
Yeah,
accustomed to salsa and
we taught through Art Inc.
Yeah.
We taught at that location as well as the public schools. So we've been to some of the public schools.
So let me ask you this: for anybody that has not ever deep delve into salsa, what are some main artists for somebody that's just brand new to the genre of salsa that you can like check them out? You'll get a good stroke of what salsa actually is.
Cello Feliciano, not the blind Cello Feliciano. There's another guy called Cello Feliciano. He's passed away. Victor Manuel, Joe Cuba. There's so many artists, but you don't want to lead them into artists that play descargas. Descargas are real fast, that me and Beverly probably could dance to them and stuff. You want something real, what they call romantic salsa. Romantic salsa is nice and smooth. The music's not real fast. And if you're practicing, you can pick up on it a little bit easier than something that's too fast or middle of the road.
So let's say.
What about a Mark Anthony?
Mark Anthony.
Oh yeah, Mark Anthony's pretty.
That's how I got my introduction. When I started listening to some of his, I really hooked into him. I really like the way he sings.
Yeah, a lot of the old school salsa is really good for that. A lot of the new salsa, since the old generation is dying off, the salseros, a lot of the salsa now is a little bit fast. It's just real peppy and stuff, and I guess young people could dance to it because they're young, But back in the day, it was smooth. You needed to look smooth. You dress nice. Anymore, it's not like that.
Nah, I wore a fedora to Salsa Nights. I'm trying to dance slow, brother.
That was good, but that's good. Fedora is cool.
Yeah, with a Hibaritos type of shirt y todo. Yeah.
One thing we like and we really appreciate it when we go back home to visit, we like to go to the barrio, and it's called La Maqueta. And what we discovered is that there are a lot of older people that really have a different way of dancing. I mean, it's cool, it's smooth, it's not a whole lot of theatrics, and they just really enjoy the dance, and they don't care who's watching. But they have been at it for so long, but we just like to go and see and witness them and witness what they're doing because it's just kind of relaxing to watch them, and they're not very super fancy. But
it's effortless.
It is.
But they move so smooth.
And
it's just like breathing. It's just second nature.
There's a lady there who has to be in her 90s, and she's up with all the rest of them.
Really?
Yes, she is. And she just moves to her own beat. It doesn't matter. They come with their little folding chairs, and they have live. By the way, we're dancing to live music at the La Maqueta. And so we like to do that when we go to visit during the summertime.
Now, you've touched on it a little bit. You said that through the generation, salsa has kind of gotten faster. Has it also evolved in other ways? Or is that the main one that you see just
That's what
speed?
I see, just speed it up a little bit. You still have romantic salsa, which can be played and you can learn from, but the majority of the salsa that's coming out is fast. Now, what I try to play is smooth salsa. I play a mixture of something a little slower, something middle of the road. Not too many descargas, which are too fast for anybody. Now,
you make me
if
look
you don't
good.
know how to dance, you can just get up there and do whatever you want to, but I try to stay away from that when I'm DJing.
No, hey, the slower ones make me look good, by the way. I like it. I appreciate it.
Right.
Once you play the bachata, that's more my speed.
Right, bachata is very nice. Yeah.
As we're, doing more events, we're growing, what are some big plans you have moving forward? Any cool events that we have on the horizon? I think we have one this Friday.
This Friday, yeah. And the thing with salsa in Peoria, doors close and God opens other doors for us. So we never know what's next. I know that the Contemporary Arts Center is there because that's our home base. And we've been down there since
2006.
2006 until now. So
Yeah, we had the director from Contemporary Arts Center saw what we were doing up in Farmington, Edie's Oasis, and what he was interested in is someone coming to play music, but at the same time he wanted someone to come and teach. And at that time, neither Eddie nor I, we could teach. We could dance, but we couldn't teach it. So what we did is Ed came down to the Contemporary Arts Center, and he played the music. And Burfan, our original teacher, he came down to the Contemporary Arts Center, and he taught. And so over a period of time, Eddie and I got to the point where we could teach together, and then he became the DJ. But many times, a lot of times we'll go to places, they want not only someone to play the music, but can you teach? And they're looking for very basic stuff. And so that's when we go to some slow teaching music and slow salsa, because we recognize that it catches on a little bit quicker.
I love how the times I've been there where it's about like an hour and a half into it, something like that. From what I remember, someone will get on the mic, be like, all right, everybody stand up. Look at the partner next to you, grab them, start dancing. You're like, all right, next. Then you start dancing with somebody new. But it's a great way to network and get to meet people. And not only that, but you're there having fun. You're dancing.
What we like to think of is, if you come for the lessons, there's an opportunity to see and meet others. And so hopefully throughout the dance, maybe you will be open to someone asking you or you asking someone else. Again, we remind people that is a salsa social. And that's a way to connect. And also something that we do that's been fairly big is called the birthday dance. So what happens is that for any given month, we'll say who has a month in say for instance this particular month is October. We'll put the request out there who has a birthday, and all the birthdays in October will get on the dance floor. And they get in a circle, and then those who have the birthdays, and then they are surrounded and serenaded by those who don't have a birthday, and they use the various instruments. Like for instance, this is the month of October, which happens to be my husband's birthday.
Oh, felicidades.
So hopefully he'll get into the center, and the rest of us will just serenade around him, and then every now and then, those that are doing the walking around will go to the center, grab him, and dance with him for a few, and then go back. And then someone else will come in. So that's another way of engaging other people. And many times you don't even know who it is that you're dancing with. But you get out there, and in the meantime, I think it's a lot. It does a lot for those who are having birthdays, because now the attention is on them, and someone is going to actually dance with them that they probably wouldn't have even thought about dancing with.
Have you seen a lot of people who come in as first timers, never done salsa or bachata, anything, and then a year later or two, they're so frequent that they're like, "Oh, now you're teaching"?
Well,
some. We do that sort of stuff to keep it interesting, because if you're just sitting there playing music, people get tired of that. You need to get them up somehow,
Engage them.
Right.
You need to engage them.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I'm happy. I'm happy I finally got to talk to you guys and hear the story. I mean, the fact that you used to sneak into the Apollo, I got so many questions about that before we end, just because I like to hear these stories. So you said you see Stevie Wonder, The Temptations,
The
Miracles.
Now one of the ways he got into the Apollo is he snuck in through the ladies' powder room.
How?
I had to climb a black wall with barbed wire on the top of it.
They had what they call those fire escapes outside the building.
You climbed the
he must have climbed the fire escape.
We climbed the wall somehow. I forgot how we did it. And then we jumped over the barbed wire, landed somewhere, and then we jumped down again and the ladies' powder room was right there. And we snuck in that way. I shouldn't be talking about this. Right? That was back in the day.
Now he's a responsible
person. I don't do that anymore.
He's responsible. He's here to teach you good things only.
Right.
Don't do as he did. Do as he says. But that's cool. Like, what are some? Now that you've been doing this for how many years have you been now doing Salsa Nights?
Since 2007. No. I'm going to say if you count in Edie's, 2004, 2005.
Oh goodness.
What does that mean to you to be able to do this for so long and efficiently, and seeing a lot of people actually take joy in what you do for the community?
Not in my wildest dreams, I would have never thought that would happen. And the years go by so fast. Now, when she mentions the dates, I'm thinking, oh, it was that far back, But it's just every year, we're just doing it. The next thing you know,
we
got a
never
longevity.
thought we would be where we are today.
Right.
We never visualized it, not at all.
Because I don't think Peoria is a salsa town, for one thing, especially when, like right now at Bradley, I wish I was still teaching at Bradley, but they're not into salsa, I don't think, Bradley University, or it could be the university itself and money, I don't know.
I think it has a lot to do with the student population. If in fact they come there with a passion, like for instance, we got started with salsa because the students heard about it and they said, let's form a group, and they wanted to form the Bradley Salsa Club. So we had a salsa club at Bradley.
Oh, how long ago was that?
That we started back in 2008, 2009, and then I think we ended it back in 2019.
Oh, I had a good run.
We did.
Could happen again.
It did. So it depends on the student population, really.
Like right now, tonight we're going to Bloomington to dance. They have a Spanish club at ISU, and they bring in groups, they bring in singers and what have you, they give parties. And that's mainly what we would have liked to see at Bradley also, but they're doing it in Bloomington, so we go over there and dance.
Oh, ojalá, maybe it happens here again. You never know.
It's free tonight, by the way, if you want to come.
Free tonight in Bloomington. Yeah, I'll have this edited and posted up tonight. It might be a possibility. I got to see how the rest of my work schedule.
A live band from Indianapolis.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Nice live band.
Salseros?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why you got to do this to me on a work week?
Sorry. I think it just fell into our laps about,
Yesterday.
2 days ago, and that's when we realized it. So once we realized it, we started sharing with others just in case they wanted to partake in
But this Friday, we have it going on.
that. Yes, we do.
Talk to us about the event happening Friday. Tell everybody about it. Let's get them down. Let's get them dancing salsa and having a great time.
Well, the best thing about the Contemporary Arts Center, that is you get a complimentary 1 hour lesson, okay? You can bring your own booze, your own drink, if you're 21 and over, although they sell soda pop, water, and ice, and it's only $8.
Yeah.
There's nowhere in Peoria that you'll find any venue like that
That you can
for
bring,
$8.
You can bring your food and your spirits.
Bring your food also, you cannot beat that anywhere in Peoria. So that's an attraction, And then, of course, I've been playing music for a while, and I don't want to get big-headed, but, people know.
You're good.
People know what I'm playing, and they like it, and they're dancing. So I guess that's where they come.
And from time to time, we'll get requests, and we will try to accommodate them if at all possible. But
And what's the time frame on the event Friday?
8:30 to 9:30 is the complimentary lesson with the price of admission, and from 9:30 to 12, I spend until 12 a.m. in the morning.
So 8 to midnight, we go out and have a great time here in
Yes.
Peoria.
You can.
And look at that. And for any information or to stay on top of, how can they get in contact with you guys?
Probably the best thing to do is call the Contemporary Arts Center. I don't have their number offhand, but if
I'll put it in the bio.
Yeah, if you can call up there, and they'll give you all the information that you need. And there's other venues going on at the Contemporary Arts Center also. It's a nice place to see art or other performances. They have Whisper and Shout. They have First Fridays. There's a lot going on, and that's a good place to be in Peoria because there's not that many places to go and just have a good time,
This is true.
You can also contact us through Edward's Facebook page, DJ Caballero.
DJ Caballero on
And so
Facebook.
we'll have things posted on that as well.
I do love the Art Center because as I'm hearing salsa, cumbia, merengue, bachata, all that, I'm taking a walk through the little art exhibit they have in the back.
Oh,
And it just brings me so much passion. I'm like, yo, this is cool. You see all this local art, and then you hear the Latino music in the background. And I'm like, oh, it's the ambiance is really nice, and you get to BYOB, come in with your friends. Even if you want to go single by yourself,
yes,
we'll find somebody for you to dance with.
we will.
Before we end the podcast, I like to ask everybody that comes down this question. So we all have stories we tell. We all have purpose and meaning And as somebody looks into our stories and see the actions that we do and all the great we do for our community, for you and your guys' story, I can ask you individually or together as a unit, how we like to answer. What would you like people to take away from your story, your journey, everything you've done? What would you want people to know when they're done reading your story?
Well, for me personally, coming from Harlem and being in a lot of trouble when I was a teenager, that I found something that I really liked, and I kept at it. I didn't want to give up. In the beginning, it was very hard to learn how to dance, but I kept at it. I guess there was a passion inside of me, and I always put the Lord in my story, because that's what got me here today. And I don't want to be real religious about this or anything, but there's something out there that will help you if you ask.
I guess for me is that I stepped out of my comfort zone, because I heard the music and I danced a little bit when I was in New York, but I didn't really delve into it a bit. I don't, prior to us getting into it, his brother and my sister, they used to dance salsa, but we didn't dance when they were dancing. But so we did learn how to dance when we got here. But I will say this: we did step out of our comfort zone, and now that I did, I'm surprised that I have really gravitated to it far more than I ever thought possible. And so I'm getting joy out of it that I never even envisioned.
I love that for you guys.
And I tell people a lot of times that Beverly's a better dancer than me, but I'm a better DJ than she is.
Believe him.
Well, I love you both together, because I will say the handful of times I've been able to get out of work and actually go and have and dance, sit down, meet, network a bunch of people. I think I've been able to interview 4 different people because I met them there and got to know them. So you guys have been extremely beneficial to me personally, but also coming from Chicago, where I would go out at least once a week to dance bachata or cumbia. Wasn't that great at salsa. I'm trying to get better. To have a place here in Peoria where now I live, it puts a smile on my face. I know at least once a month I got somewhere where I could go dance and experience my culture.
And it reminds me of a story that someone says, throughout the week, he's working and he's doing various things, but boy, does he look forward to that Friday for salsa. He just really gets all worked up to go to salsa. That was Houston. He one of our good dancers that's no longer with us in Peoria, but he's still around. But this is what he really looked forward to. And as a matter of fact, speaking of Houston, we used to do salsa socials at his restaurant, which is called Pho Noodle House. We did that for a period of time in East Peoria.
Huh.
So,
look at that.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I find ironic is that we teach a lot of people how to salsa dance, but since Peoria is a transit community, we lose a lot of good dancers.
They come and they go.
They come and go. So it's mainly we're teaching beginners a lot, and then there are some intermediate dances, but a lot of the dances that we taught that got better, they take other jobs in other cities.
But the silver lining in that is you're the first introduction to a lot of people to salsa, and you're starting them down a path that they can't go back from. The beat got them. That's it. Yeah, sabe, you know what I mean? Once the salsa kind of gets you, I mean, look at you guys. Look at where life's taking you from Harlem to here. Salsa caught you.
Right.
And ain't letting you go.
There you go.
Any last words for the audience? Anything you want people to know about you guys, or anything you want them to know to entice them to go to Salsa Nights?
And one thing I guess I would say, I always tell them, don't try to do what I do. Be the best that you can be, because that's what we want to nourish and develop, your skills wherever you are. And so just be the best that you can be. All we ask is that you give it a try.
That's all you gotta do. Just come out, let the beat grab you. That's been another episode of the KZ Community Beat. I'm your host, Ross Martinez. A big thank you to my guests, Eduardo and Beverly Caballero, the creators of Salsa Nights here in Peoria every month at the Contemporary Arts Center of Peoria. To get more information, give the Contemporary Arts Center of Peoria a call, and they will get you in contact with Eduardo and Beverly, and also their Facebook page. The Facebook page is what again?
DJ Caballero.
DJ
Ed Caballero.
Oh, it is?
DJ Ed Caballero.
DJ El Caballero. That's Caballero.
Adelante.
Yeah, pa fuente también. And go back, check out the episodes, and come out and dance. If not, we will go to your house and dance in front. Hasta luego. Everybody have a great time. Thank you. Appreciate you listening.